Folks, today I'm going to talk to you about the ignorance behind human worship of gods and politicians, etc. etc. This is a huge and sensitive topic. So I'm going to do this in several videos, slowly appealing to your reasoning power and logical mind, because that's what will stick with the current generation as well as the new generation of people coming. You cannot free people from worship through faith. As you all know, that has divided people, created a lot of problems. My ultimate goal is to free every human being from their bondage to ignorance and experience the eternal love which is shining in you forever. So, first, I'm going to talk about one of the main reasons why people worship God is because of fear. Fear of the future, fear of what happened in the past. And I talked about this fear eradication in the previous video. Please watch that. It's very important to free you from fear. Also, it is important to know how the fear arises. Even very rational people, logical minded people are sometimes totally devastated by this fear. As you all know, that this is a well known scientific fact. Fear is just like an addiction to alcohol or drug. When you are taught from childhood by your parents or your people around you or the happenings around you, the media, etc., that if you worship God, He will protect you. You can be free of fear. And if you do not worship, you will get fear. This teaching, happenings around you, creates a kind of information in your brain. And if we do not follow the direction that is worshipping God, immediately there is a feeling, the feeling center, the fear center is triggered. The fear is always integrated, stored together with the worship of God. Just like when people drink alcohol, the temporary pleasure, relaxation that they gain is always told with taking of the alcohol or a drug. And if you keep doing this again and again, if people around you keep teaching you worship, 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 otherwise you will have fear and fear, this part of the brain gets strengthened, the part that stores the fear along with the worship of God gets strengthened more and more, just like in alcohol addiction. And if you do not worship, immediately the associated feeling is triggered. It's automatic. Just like if somebody, some alcoholic, stops taking alcohol, immediately there is a craving for alcohol in their brain. That is how the worship of God is formed and strengthened in your brain using the fear center. And also, this is enhanced by the culture that you live in. To some extent, you also have inherited from the ancestors, human ancestors, irrespective of your caste or country, because everyone in the past lived a tribal life, always fearing the enemies, killing the enemies, and so on. But I talked about the fear eradication in the previous video. If you understand that, you can get rid of this fear and the worship of God with the aim of getting rid of the fear. You can come out of this addiction slowly, but certainly. The next reason why people worship God is they want boon, they want reward, they want good things from God. It is told and it is spread by many teachers, preachers in various religions that God is your father, just like you ask your human father when you are young for things that you want to enjoy. There is nothing wrong in asking God, your eternal Father, for the boons that you like. Again, this addiction works in the same way as a fear addiction, worshipping God because of the fear. You worship God to get things from Him, and it gets strengthened by the same way that alcohol addiction takes place in human beings. Now, you all know that you cannot get from God whatever you want all the time. Sometimes you get, sometimes you don't get. The best way to get what you want without hurting other people is very similar to fear eradication that I talked about in the earlier video. That is, if we want something, unhampered by the past failures stored in your brain, without any fear of the future, whether you will get what you want or not. You focus on the present. With all your might, do whatever you need without hurting others. And then, if that is not what you need, change your plan the next time and do it again. Accept the result and modify your plan, etc. etc. Very similar to the fear eradication. This is how I lived. I was born in a very, very poor family when India was going through, after independence, economic havoc. My parents were uneducated. I'm not blaming them, but that's a fact. They were living, as I was, in a small village without any knowledge of what is going on around the world. I didn't have the same kind of maturity and knowledge, obviously, when I was a young boy or a teenager. But one thing was there in me, and that is I worked hard without relying on any concept of God. When you rely on yourself without being afraid of your past, your background, without being afraid that the future will not bring you what you want, then you will find a lot of opportunities around you through your friends, through your teachers, and so on. These opportunities are God given in a sense. But if you are just worshipping, sometimes you will not be able to see these opportunities. Fortunately, I saw those opportunities. The world around gave me, showed me, and I followed that. I struggled at every point in my life. I'm not boasting myself, but I'm just giving you an example. That is the way to get what you want, not by worshipping God. The third reason why people worship God is to be loved. Again, this is a great ignorance of people. You can only love. You can never, ever expect love from another person, another people, from the world. In fact, loving is not an act, I'm sorry. You cannot, with a purpose, love. The love inside you, the golden light inside you, will automatically shine. You don't have to do any activity to express that love. If you remove all your ignorances, free of all the ignorances, the love that you have inside you will shine. That's all you can do. You can never experience a love from other people. That is an ignorance. Because you are experiencing the love from other people using your five senses and your mind. As I said in an earlier video, that they are just instruments. Based on what you have in your mind and what the five senses reveal to you, sometimes even somebody really loves you, you may not be able to experience it. Sometimes, even when people do not love you, you will think that it's a great love. So, because these five senses and the mind always color, change the love or the expression of the so-called love from others, you can never ever experience the true love from other people. You can only shine with the love. When you do that, you will no longer seek the love from other people, other folks. Shining, the love shining in you itself will bring extreme joy. As I said, the golden light, it is not only the love principle and life principle, but it's also joy principle. And that love shines in you unconditionally. You will experience extreme joy as I experienced in my first spiritual experience. It's a fact. So, do not ever try to worship God expecting that God to love you or to bring about love. Whatever God you worship, even when that worshipping brings you love, you will not be able to recognize it. Sometimes, even when the worshipping of the God does not bring you love, you may be thinking that it is bringing you love, it is giving you love. Because the God that you are worshipping is in your mind. It is not same as the one beyond the human mind. You always have to keep in mind. So in short, do not worship God or anything to get rid of fear. It is not reasonable, appeal to your logical mind if you worship God to get boons, rewards from God. And also, you can never get love from God. The love that shines in you will give you love, joy, and whatever you need from that God. For that, For all the three things, fear eradication, and get whatever you need from your life, and also to express and experience the joy, love inside you. You need to remove the ignorances. That's what I talked about in this video. I'll talk about other aspects of worship in a future video. Talk to you soon, folks.